La aventura tiene un nuevo nombre, Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. Con la Rogue Rock Creek estarás listo para conquistar el camino que venga. Si es una ruta rocosa, tienes llantas todoterreno. Ante una gran bajada, control para descenso inclinado y su parrilla tubular para techo, lista para lo que necesites. Cuando la vida te ofrece aventura, tú tienes la Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. La capacidad de carga está limitada por el peso y la distribución. Siempre asegure la carga. Cargar el vehículo con mucho peso, especialmente en el techo, afectará el manejo y la estabilidad del vehículo.
Can you imagine? There's a whole world of words out there, waiting to be discovered. Sometimes we don't even realize how many words we use every day, let alone how many exist in other languages. It's like every language is its own universe, full of secrets, stories, and unique ways of seeing life. Hey friends, how's it going? Today I've got something I know you'll love. Because let's be honest, we've all wondered at some point which language is the richest, the one with the most words, the one that can express the most things. And the answer, believe me, isn't as simple as it seems. Have you ever wondered which language has the most words in the world? Is it English, with its reputation as the global language? Or maybe Chinese, with its ancient history and complexity? Or could it be some language we can't even imagine, spoken by a small community in some corner of the planet? Let's see, think about it. It's a super tough question, because it's not just about counting words, but about understanding how they are created, how they evolve, and how they are used in everyday life. Plus, each language has its own way of forming new words, mixing meanings, and adapting to the changing world. And the truth is, the number of languages that exist in the world is crazy. There are languages spoken in entire countries and others that only a few families know. Each one has its own treasure of words, some so specific that they don't exist in any other language. Imagine that UNESCO, the folks dedicated to culture, have an atlas of the world's languages in danger, and there are almost 7,000 languages registered. That means there are thousands of different ways to name love, sadness, joy, nature, and everything around us. Each language is a window into a different way of understanding reality. In fact, 90% of these languages are spoken by fewer than 100,000 people, which is a lot. Imagine what it means that so many languages are in danger of disappearing, taking with them unique words, stories, and traditions that can't be easily translated. And every time a language is lost, the world becomes a little smaller. We lose ways of naming things that maybe we didn't even know existed. That's why it's so important to value and protect linguistic diversity. But anyway, back to the topic. The most well-known languages, the ones spoken almost everywhere, have been collecting words throughout history, like trading cards. English, for example, has adopted words from a bunch of different languages: French, Latin, Greek, Spanish, and even Hindi. That's why its dictionary is so thick. Spanish isn't far behind either. Our language has grown thanks to the mix of cultures. Arabic, indigenous, African, and European words have been added over time. And not to mention German, which can create super long words by combining smaller ones, or Russian, which has words for shades of emotions that don't even exist in other languages. Each word tells a story, a tradition, a way of seeing the world. There are words that only exist in one language because they reflect something very specific to that culture. For example, in Japanese, there's komorebi, which describes sunlight filtering through the leaves of trees. In German, Fernweh is the longing to travel to faraway places. Imagine how many words like that are out there to be discovered. That's why it's so interesting. Learning new words is not only fun, but it helps us understand others and ourselves better. It connects us with other ways of thinking and feeling, and opens the door to worlds we may never have imagined. Today, we're going to discover some of the languages with the largest number of words. We're going to see which ones they are, why they have so many, and what we can learn from them. Ready to be surprised? Join me on this linguistic journey. Get ready to learn amazing words, fascinating stories, and fun facts that will make you want to learn a new language. Because, in the end, every word is an adventure, and the world is full of them waiting to be discovered. Alright everyone, let's talk about a real superstar in the world of languages, English. This language isn't just spoken in lots of countries, it's also known for having tons and tons of words. If you've ever wondered why there are so many ways to say the same thing in English, or why some words are so unusual, I'm going to tell you. Get ready to explore the amazing world of English words, where there's always something new to discover. Many people say English has the most words of any language, and they have pretty good reasons for thinking so. It's not just a rumor. Experts have spent years counting and organizing words, and the results are amazing. English has a huge power to make new words, combine word parts, and borrow words from other languages. This makes it a true word giant. People think English has between 170,000 and more than 1 million words. 1 million! It's like if we took all the candy from a giant piñata and there was still some left over. Imagine each word is a different piece of candy. There's something for everyone. From technical words used by scientists to everyday sayings, English never seems to run out of new ways to communicate. Why so many words? Well, English is like a sponge. It has soaked up words from many different languages throughout history. It didn't just stick with its own words, it borrowed from all over the place, adding to its vocabulary every time it met a new culture. Every time English met a new language, it took a word as a souvenir, and that's how its collection grew so big. French, Latin, Greek, even Spanish. Imagine the mix. English has taken words from the Vikings, the Romans, the French, and even from the native people of America, Africa, and Asia. So, when you learn English, you're also learning a little bit of many other languages. It's like traveling through world history, but using words as your passport. And because English spread all over the world, it's become a real walking dictionary. No matter where you go, you'll probably hear English words or meet people who speak English. It's the language of science, technology, music, and even internet memes. So the next time you hear a strange word in English, remember, it probably comes from somewhere far away, and that's part of what makes English so special and interesting. Now let's go to the other side of the world, to South Korea, the land of K-pop and kimchi. Well, let me tell you that Korean is not far behind in terms of the number of words. In fact, some linguists say that Korean has a huge vocabulary, especially if we consider the native words, the Sino-Korean words that come from Chinese, and the words they have taken from other languages. It's like a linguistic buffet with dishes from everywhere. And the fact is that Korean culture has been influenced by China, Japan, and other countries, which has enriched its language in an impressive way. And speaking of Asia, we can't forget about Japanese, a language that many of us find both fascinating and mysterious. Japanese also has a huge number of words, thanks to its writing system that combines kanji or Chinese characters with Japanese syllabaries. Also, just like Korean, Japanese has borrowed words from other languages, which has made its vocabulary even richer. Imagine learning all those kanji. It's like your brain is a hard drive with unlimited storage. Alright, let's talk about our language, Spanish, the one we speak with so much passion and that lets us express ourselves in so many different ways. Spanish also has a very large vocabulary, thanks to its long literary tradition and the influence of other languages like Arabic, Latin, and the indigenous languages of the Americas. Think about all the words we have to describe emotions, to talk about food, to tell stories. Hey, the truth is, Spanish is a language rich in nuances and words, don't you think? Let's head over to Germany, the land of beer and cars. German is known for its ability to create compound words, meaning words made by joining two or more words together. It's like playing with Legos, but with words. They can create amazing linguistic structures. This makes the German vocabulary huge and it's always growing. Imagine saying Fernweh, which means missing a place you've never even been to. Germans are really good at making up words. And we can't forget French, the language of love, fashion, and diplomacy. Throughout its history, French has accumulated a vast number of words thanks to its influence on culture, politics, and science. It's an elegant, precise language with a sound that many of us love. Many words in other languages come from French, demonstrating its importance in the history of the world's languages. Finally, we get to Russian, a language with a rich literary tradition and a history full of events. Russian also has a very broad and diverse vocabulary, with influences from Old Slavic, Greek, and other languages. Also, Russian has the unique feature of having declensions, which means that words change their form depending on their function in the sentence. Imagine the number of words you have to learn. Hi everyone. Today, I want to invite you to dive into a fascinating journey through the universe of languages with me. Have you ever wondered how many words exist in the world, or how each language has unique expressions that can't be translated literally? As you can see, the world of languages is fascinating and full of surprises. Every time we learn a new word, we open a door to a different culture, a different way of thinking and feeling. Each language has its own history, its own music, and its own rhythm. Words can be like musical notes, some soft and melodic, others fast and full of energy. And the most amazing thing is that each language offers us a new way of seeing the world, of understanding reality, and of connecting with others. It's incredible how through words we can communicate, express our ideas, share our cultures, and even create bonds of friendship that cross borders. I invite you to continue exploring the linguistic diversity of the planet, because each language is a treasure chest full of stories, traditions, and ways of thinking. Go ahead and learn new words, discover curious expressions, and practice phrases that allow you to connect with people from all over the world. You will be amazed by the richness of languages, the creativity of words, and the diversity of sounds that exist on our planet. And tell me, did you know these facts? Did you know that there are languages that are only spoken on a small island? Or that there are words that describe emotions that don't have a translation in other languages? What language would you like to learn and why? Are you attracted to the melody of French, the logic of German, the history of Arabic, or the beauty of Japanese? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read your experiences, your dreams, and your stories about learning languages. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content about languages and cultures. Here you will always find stories, interesting facts, and tips to keep growing in this world of words to discover. See you next time.
La aventura tiene un nuevo nombre, Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. Con la Rogue Rock Creek estarás listo para conquistar el camino que venga. Si es una ruta rocosa, tienes llantas todo terreno. Ante una gran bajada, control para descenso inclinado y su parrilla tubular para techo, lista para lo que necesites. Cuando la vida te ofrece aventura, tú tienes la Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. La capacidad de carga está limitada por el peso y la distribución. Siempre asegure la carga. Cargar el vehículo con mucho peso, especialmente en el techo, afectará el manejo y la estabilidad del vehículo.